Thank you, Speaker. And I'm very proud to be in the House today and to speak to the Opposition Day motion that has been advanced by my colleague from Halliburton, Kawartha Lakes, Brock. This is a important subject and one that I view has been an injustice that is happening throughout our land that has been long neglected, and it's time for this legislature and we as lawmakers to recognize that there are things that are wrong in our laws and to take the appropriate action after careful deliberations and considerations to rectify those things that are wrong in our laws in Ontario. And I think, it's obvious, but I think I just want to state it for emphasis. This motion is about sexual harassment of women, but that affects all of us, everybody, not only in this legislature, but everybody completely. I'm a son of a mother. I'm a brother to sisters. I am a husband to a loving wife. I'm a father to a loving daughter. Sexual harassment against women affects us all. If it affects those that we love, it affects ourselves. And I really want to say that this Opposition Day motion needs to be advanced, a committee needs to be struck, and it cannot be politicized. It needs to be done on thoughtful, considerate, nonpartisan lines if it is to be effective and to right the wrongs that are happening with our laws. And I just want to state for the record a couple of facts. These are the facts from the Toronto Police Service. And it says, sexual assault is a vastly underreported crime. According to Stats Canada, only 6% of all sexual assaults are reported to the police. And we saw that very recently. High-profile case, people who were victims did not feel comfortable going to our authorities or going to our police officers. They felt greater security by going to the media than they did from going to our law enforcement officers. In that one study, women gave the following reasons for not reporting incidents of sexual assault. Belief that the police could do nothing about it, that was 50%. Fear or concern about the attitude of both police and the courts towards the sexual assault, 44% gave that. But here's another one, fear and shame. 64% of women did not report those incidents of sexual assault for fear and shame. All the victimization surveys show that less than 10% of women who are sexually assaulted ever report the incident to our police. That should give everybody in this legislature a significant eye-opener. Can we imagine any other crime committed in this province where only 10% of the people felt comfortable enough to go to our law enforcement and to go to the courts to find and seek out remedies for that crime? I can't imagine any other crime, and I would challenge anybody to even consider, is there any other crime? What would we do in this legislature if only 10% of people felt comfortable to report a stolen car, or only 10% of people felt comfortable to report a break-in? You know, we would have a society of lawlessness. And I think, Speaker, into this House, that is a problem that needs to be fundamentally rectified. There's this story on the internet. It's a letter to the Police Chief Bill Blair in Toronto. I'm not sure if anybody else in the House has read this, but it was written Friday the 14th of November by Liz Milliken. And it's a thoughtful letter where she speaks of her experience with sexual assault. And here's one sentence. When she went to the authorities, they told me that I should not report it and that no good would come of it. Even the victim support organizations discouraged my reporting. We are told that reporting is more traumatizing than the actual rape. And she goes on to say, the law requires an assumption of innocence for the accused, which we all agree with. It's a long-standing tenet. But she adds, we don't have that assumption of innocence for the victim. There is much that needs to be done. This select committee is the way for us to approach this problem in a non-politicized fashion, in a non-partisan fashion. It is the way that we can advance and protect and change the laws, but to protect those that we love by doing our job here as legislators and by doing our job on the select committee in a non-partisan fashion. And with that, Speaker, I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen, and I do hope that this select committee is struck with equal representation by all parties quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, members from Lanark, Frontenac, Lennox, and Addington.